really have too much of a downside unless you're on a tower and they push you off and you die. That's
right. I think
the worst.
The disadvantages associated with the bubble are more so with the gun that it's using. Like the junior, it's lacking in range and power that you might otherwise want. Anyways, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. Map number 1 being Urchin Underpass. 252 gals and a Splattershot Junior coming in from Cooldown. A very short range weapon composition we see here that I think, yeah, Hitzel and I were talking about it when we were talking about, ooh, he gets the kill through the wall.
Yeah, that was a really, really perfect play by Fuzzy. If Fuzzy missed any of those shots, he would have been dead.
Ooh, speaking of that.
Speaking of dead.
Yeah, he's going to go down. A bloodbath happening in the middle, 3v3. But like I was saying, Hitzel noted earlier that in the Squids Next Door Kubiclan match that had happened earlier in the week, it was the first eSPL match to take place.
Speaking of which, shout outs to the Squid Next Door. Like, they're really stepping up from what I've been seeing lately. Yeah,
they definitely have. And Hitzel noted that both comps, and especially the KC comp, had utilized a very short range weapon composition. Now, I don't know whether that if there's any particular reason behind it continuing into this match as well, but we're seeing it again. And currently, Cooldown having the lead, though. They have taken control of the splat zone in the middle.
Yeah, but they don't have control of that left wing. Oh, and there it is. Zozo, they cover that area. And covering that wing is actually very important. You would think that it isn't, but if you can get your sniper up there, you can really post up and really lock down people in this map. So it's a really good play by Cooldown, honestly. And here we see, as I say that, you know, Cooldown does go down, but Bubble's coming in.
Ooh, no, Fuzzy, you got to hop on out, compadre. Nope, he isn't going to be able to. Bubble gets him, wraps around the corner.
Not enough super jump. I have a bobble hat he can steal from me if he wants. Like, that'll probably save him.
Cooldown back into possession of the splat zone, though it looks like they're near the NSTC base. They're going to have to spend time getting rid of this player as well, and you have to wonder with the timer going down in the middle. This is, even though Zozo does go down, this is all to their advantage, I believe.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, still Urza's still on the top platform there. He's right on their sniper's perch where Nike would like to be, but he can't since he's just taking that spot over. The clock's still ticking down. We're getting closer and closer to that 20 marker. And now we finally start to wrest some control from them. But it's still not taken, and so one guy going down right now, Sindao. And now Fuzzy's just trying to pick someone off, but it's just not working. And there the zone gets painted yet again. They're delaying time some more, but it's not looking like it's going to be enough. But
Ooh,
just
actually,
as I say that, looks like they get 2 kills, so this might be their opportunity to make something happen.
But Fuzzy can't afford to die in the middle here. If he does, of course, his ink will go all over the splat zone, and he will go down, giving the enemy the lead. Unfortunately for them, Cooldown will be getting the splat zone. In the meantime, 2 kills. Will it be enough, though? No, it won't be. And NSTC actually going down from the get-go of the match. 1-2-0 for the French team.
So as you can see right there, like, Fuzzy just could not get back in. Like, once they lost control of that center in the very beginning, it was really hard to come back. And that's like the name of the game with Splatoon. The better and the more better we get at this game. Is that the right term? Like, the better we get at this game.
the better
we get at this game.
Yes.
Whatever. The harder and harder it will be to come back, and you're going to have to learn to be more patient, because a lot of people are wanting to be aggressive, right? You want to get your control of the zone right away. But the problem with that is that the enemy team has probably accumulated their specials and are basically waiting for you. They're posted up, waiting for you to pop out with your gun shooting, blazing, while they're sitting in their ink. And it's the easiest kills in the world for them to just pop out and kill you right when they're ready. You know, because you're just standing there shooting to try to give yourself some turf back, but they don't have to. They've already claimed all this turf. So to get back from that, like, I think I didn't see enough of them, like, regrouping and charging their specials. I feel like they rushed in a little bit too quickly, and because they did that, just trying to jump the gun a little bit, they ended up losing that match, which is kind of unfortunate.
There was a particular point in the match, especially towards the late game, where it was where Sendu was killed to the right of Fuzzy. It looked like Fuzzy was calling over to go into the middle for some sort of offensive
push.
Yeah, but the thing is, the bubbles were activated at that time. They were running out. They had to pull back just a little bit, but at that time, they actually gave away their location. Sendu went down, and Fuzzy, with not too much support, couldn't really do too much towards the very end there. So I'm going to be looking out to see if they can have a change of pace in this offense that, unfortunately for them, wasn't really too much there at the in game one.
Now we're at more of a neutral situation, right? Like this is everyone starting off with the more or less the same coverage, and unfortunately, Fuzzy going down, bubbles popping up, gonna force them back.
These bubbles are doing so much work, at least against Fuzzy alone, and I feel like we can tell just from his play that he's not really adjusted to playing against these bubbles. Yeah,
but no, like of course not. Like I think Fuzzy revels in the idea of being able to counter walls, right? So most of the Western players, like we like to bring out walls in our battles and just like force situations, like right away. But with these bubblers coming in, things like Splattershot Jr. being able to charge up bubble really quickly, especially now with the new opening gambit, can make it really easy to just prepare your team to just win right off the bat. And now Fuzzy, unfortunately, he had the tower. He decided, you know what, let's go for a swim. It's time. I just want some fun. It's getting closer to summertime. I'm hot over here. I need to cool off.
Well, I mean, we say that, but at the same time, they still are able to push the tower just a little bit. A little bit of a wall v wall fight there, but Fuzzy trying to push ahead of the wall will go down against Urza.
Yeah, I know he was hoping he could sneak behind them and quickly kill him with the one-shot burst bomb that instantly explodes when it hits the wall, but unfortunately he did not get that. Whale coming out.
Ooh, he's going to have to avoid that one. And by the way, can we give shout-outs to Nintendo for actually updating the Killer Whale? Without that update, it was kind of really hard to see where the Killer Whale actually would be sometimes. Whoa, this really long, drawn-out 1v1. Okay, that's not going to...
Oh, absolutely. And now, unfortunately, the entire team is wiped, so they're just going to happily push in. And now, once you're in this position, you got to be very careful to not die to the defenders over there. Just... as I'm saying that, Fuzzy is going to go down right now to Zozo while he continues to defend that area, because once you go down there, it just becomes harder and harder to get back in. And now it's going to force them to use their specials prematurely, and now cooldowns are already at the almost 30 marker.
This is I feel like it's too tough to even look at this, and they're being pushed in super far. They're still on the map, but I believe that's only going to be one on the tower. No, there's another one, but that's going to be a double kill coming onto the tower. But I mean, at what cost? It's already at the 30 distance point mark.
Yeah, that was definitely a really good push by the cooldown. And what's makes it scarier is, even though they pushed that hard, they still started to wrest control of the center. But unfortunately, they do go down once again, allowing our guys here to make something happen. Fuzzy's having a little bit of difficulty fighting this guy, and he does go down. But I guess he goes down as well. So
yeah, Gray from Cooldown.
Just not a good position.
Gray from Cooldown able to avoid a lot of Fuzzy's shots there, and reaps the benefits from it. But Fuzzy taking the ill-advised super jump back to mid, especially when tower was being contested over. Not too sure about that call. Killer Whale going to be called into the middle right now, and NSTC is going to be very much forced out of the main alley here.
Fuzzy forced them off the tower, but they were already prepared behind him, already shooting.
They weren't even forced off the tower. They were already off in anticipation of that, and they actually were able to get around Fuzzy and get rid of him. And so far, NSTC being completely shut down. If I'm going to be honest here, Cooldown.
Yeah, definitely not having any room to breathe. Honestly, Cooldown is showing a lot of teamwork, a lot of that synergy that I was talking about, using the bubbles together to huddle up and get all 4 players with the bubble. You know, not really resting control, like not really giving up control. Like right there, we already have another wall protecting that corner, so Fuzzy can't make something happen. Zozo does go down.
He does get the turnaround kill. He's looking around for any players possible. Walkman right beside him to the left of him, and he's going to wait for someone to come up off to the main alley here. There's only about 36 seconds left. And he wants to make sure that if his teammates are going to push this, they're going to do it without too much of any offensive. But unfortunately, he will go down trying to pick off Zozo there. And that 52 Gal user will be the death of him. A 3v4 in the middle right now. And NSTC, I believe, realizes they have to drop back.
Yeah, they have to make something happen here. Cooldown is very happy with this situation.
Nice.
Even if they do go down, they have enough time to store up their whale and force everyone off the tower and just pick it up.
Fuzzy needs to stay alive here. Fuzzy needs to stay alive. No, but he can't.
The whale comes out, forces him off,
no,
and that's going to be the game.
Yeah, and just like that, NSTC, they look to be getting a little bit of offensive towards the very end of that, but it's a little bit too late. NSTC going down 2-0, and keep in mind, guys, this is a best of 6 in the case that we do end up seeing Cooldown win the first 4 games. That'll be it. And basically the way the best of 6 rolls is that if it's tied 3-3 after 6 games, you go to a best of 3 overtime. Otherwise, Cooldown very much on the road to winning this one. Only 2 more matches needed to take this game against NSTC, which, quite honestly, if they were to win this, it would be an upset, surely.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, I think everyone in general seems to think NSTC is the team to beat, but, like, as we can see here, Cooldown is showing a lot of teamwork. Even though NSTC has been, like, honestly, quite, like, botting everyone who tries to step in their way, like, Cooldown here is showing that they are capable of going against the best. They probably have been playing against Japanese players, because I've been seeing a lot of teamwork and the kind of things that you would only see through the Japanese players, but now it's kind of like transferring over, you know, we're starting to learn and adapt, and it's really interesting to see, so... we're just going to see how it goes, because Rainmaker Salt Spray is a very risky map. It's one of those, you either win it big or lose it pretty hard. It can end in a flash, so let's see what happens as it starts up here. Yeah,
Salt Spray rig. Now, this is going to be Rainmaker, and we saw from the Koopa Clan Squids Next Door match, it was an incredibly intense set. It showed how volatile this match, this game type in particular is. And we'll see how much of that volatility is affected by the beginning of this match here. 2 walls being put up from the offensive line of Walkman and Fuzzy, and actually getting the kill off on the Gray there. Not exactly expected, but the Cooldown swims behind the walls and gets onto... Oh my goodness, that's a play there. But NSTC still getting onto the Rainmaker, and they're going to make a run for it.
Yep, they're already at the 65 marker. But not before going down right now. But still, that is a lead nonetheless. It is kind of interesting to see Fuzzy use the 52. I know, as someone who plays him a lot, he tends to stick with the Tentactech, so I'm not sure if this will work out, but I mean, it seems to be working out right now, as he keeps control of the center, which is very key when playing on Salt Spray. He is going to give it up, though, right now, as he's going to help his team push in.
But he gets around a little bit too late, though. If he was able to flank around from the side, they surely wouldn't have expected him. The Rainmaker being on the opposite side, of course, but he's still able to get the kill on the Gray.
Oh my gosh, send out, and with the perfect positioning almost to just help take out that other wall user. And I'm not sure if he got the other guy, but his team does get up to the 30 marker.
And they're still pushing this as much as possible. Fuzzy super jumping on in, and everybody from NSTC seeming to try to keep up this offensive, but I don't think this Rainmaker is going to push very much further. It is a 3v3 towards that side, though, and Nike's getting into a solid position, but I don't know.
Every character can easily get, like, a wipe. Like, it's crazy. But, wow, 2 people coming up into the center just to take down Fuzzy.
And actually,
and push up all the way into their base.
That's an incredibly good play coming from them. Zozo gets the double kill before going down. Unfortunately for Cooldown, actually, they will go. 3 of them will go down. But it was a good effort. I think we should note what a good effort that was, just because the Rainmaker was so far pushed towards the Cooldown base, and Cooldown actually had the time and patience to think about what they had to do in terms of the long term. They actually decided to push on ahead of the Rainmaker. NSTC not expecting that, going down very quickly, but they do sacrifice their lives for it. However, because they get the Rainmaker to the middle of the map from those efforts, they're able to get at least some semblance of control towards their base and somewhat neutralizing the map control.
That was a good push up until now.
Yeah.
NSTC does now have the control again and is now mounting their offensive. Fuzzy with the Rainmaker, now with all that speed that he stacks up, basically, he should be able to get there pretty quickly. He does go ahead and take down Gray here, and he is going to continue to push to the players in the back. And now, seeing as they start to chase him, he's going to start to rush down the top. But wow, a whale comes out, and
he's going to dip and dodge it. Yeah, okay, nice.
But does go down to Gray. Unfortunately, Gray's going to have to stop this right there, so he can start his push of his own, because they need to make something happen. Like I said, Salt Spray really depends on your awareness. You need to be able to stop them right away. And right now, already 3 people down. That's going to be pretty difficult to continue their push if most of them are down. Nike is very content with just holding down this fort. He has no need to move any further whatsoever, because he can just sit there and just snipe people for days as they attempt to go after that Rainmaker. You see, like, no one on NSTC is going after it right now.
But that is all contingent. That is all contingent on how much of a front line this NSTC team can provide. They've shown in the past they have stellar players, and it looks like they are showing it here right now as well. That's 3 now. No, 4 is going to go down from Cooldown, and that's going to be the near ace, and maybe even the Rainmaker to push this one even further. But someone from Cooldown is going to come from the side. Fuzzy able to defend him nicely, and Zozo will go down.
But will it be enough? They're already all the way in their base, and they're pushing. Even still, the Rainmaker is still not dead. Only 40 seconds more or less left on the clock. This is where people start to make some really iffy decisions, where people get a little bit too tense and nervous, and they start to make some bad decisions. And unfortunately, just as I'm saying that, Fuzzy does go down to Agito. Agito with that clever positioning now starts to mount an offensive for his team. I think he has his bubble up.
Yeah. No, this is actually going to be a key moment. And they're going to be moving up the wall. He has the wall available for that, though.
And now he's just going to... Oh, wow. Okay, Nike takes it, and he's taking it over to the Barren land. This is actually a good play for him to just sit there.
That Rainmaker,
he goes ahead and goes up to the elevator, but I don't think it'll matter because it's not looking like Cooldown will be able to get that Rainmaker back from them. Really well played by NSTC to keep that control. They seem to hold control all throughout the entirety of the game. So, really good.
Yeah, no, very good job done by them. I was going to question it myself. Nike was actually going to the point that's like, so you have the top of the map and the bottom of the map that are both turns seemingly irrelevant when it gets to Rainmaker. And by irrelevant, I mean it's kind of a very neutral point in the zone. And Nike seemed to be heading towards that way, but with Cooldown mostly done and out of the contention for getting the Rainmaker, he seemed and felt like it was pretty safe for him to go to the middle of the map, and they didn't really pay too much. So NSTC going up. Sorry, not going up, but they do get Game 3. We're going to be going to Black Belly Skate Park on Splat Zones. And I want to very much be looking at Nike here, as he is one of the premier snipers in the West. Actually, you may be able to alternate between the streams really quickly. So, do you have Nike stream up by any chance?
I do not.
Bring it up. This is me telling you to bring it up.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Cool. Looks like we should be getting underway here. Hopefully. Maybe.
Yep. Just give me a second as I get out of this. Come on, Nike, there he is.
Beautiful. Taking a look onto Nike's perspective now, as I figured we'd take a look into him because he's using the splatter scope, and for good reason. This map, Black Belly, is going to favor some of the short-range weapons that Cooldown has with the Splattershot Junior and 2 Gals, and so oftentimes you'll be seeing Nike in a forcefully offensive position, and so sometimes people will get upset with how snipers have to kind of sit back, but I don't think we're going to be seeing that so much here with Nike. He's going to be definitely in a position to get a lot of kills on this very condensed map, and on Black Belly so far, it seems like it is.
Look at the way he's positioning too. You know, he's using his sprinkler to keep the zone painted, and he's using the kelp chargers so he can keep. Because the Eliter isn't all that great here. This one's much faster, and it allows him that ability to keep sniping those close range people. And that sprinkler keeping the zone in their control. He's able to
nice midair.
Yeah, definitely really good snipe right there.
Nike showing off a little bit, but either way, that's going to be someone pressing up onto him. He's going to have to back off a little bit. That sprinkler having a lot of utility, especially on this, especially on splat zones for Black Belly. But either way, his teammates are going to go down, or at least one will go down on the left side. I believe that is Sendu going down there. Nike's still trying to help his teammates out and getting some possession of their own splat zone. But so far, not to any avail, and I'm not seeing too much of any defense for NSTC's own splat zone here. Killer Whale going to come on in towards the middle of the map and maybe forcing some of Cooldown off to the left. Nike for the first time having his eyes out for the French splat zone, but the Dynamo Roller has moved into the right side court.
You know, they really haven't been able to take too much control, because usually where Nike would like to be is closer to the center. But unfortunately, well, just as I say that, they do have 3 people down, so this might be their opportunity to make something happen. They do paint the other zone, and he is now going to happily wail towards the center to keep control.
And still get Zozo. Zozo was actually at the top of the middle tower, and was forced to jump off after Walkman aggressed onto him, and that Killer Whale is actually going to be the end of him. Agito taken down by a quick snipe by Nike as well, and at the same time going to be forced off to the left side. Oh, nearly gets onto the Cooldown member. He gets onto, I believe that was Gray, but either way, Gray will be going down.
They're already set up. They're already set up, so it should be pretty difficult for him. However, Nike is constantly under pressure, always forced to move back. And now already he is back in his base, basically, while his team is up forward. While they have to deal with this Dynamo, someone needs to take care of him so Nike can get back in his position. Otherwise, they're going to slowly lose control, and they do lose control of that zone. So
this 2v2 is super important. As long as they don't die, they should be fine. But
Gray does go down to that whale.
Okay,
that was pretty random.
Oh, but the bubble?
I don't know why he didn't do it. But I'm sure he was trying to run away from something.
Oh, no.
Got caught, but wow,
they're
Nike
forcing
under
so much
the
pressure
right now. Wall coming out to pressure him.
And oh my goodness, who is this madman? Who is this madman?
Madman all the way in their base, trying to make something happen. But finally being forced out. Man, they do. Cooldown does get control of the NSTC zone, but again, Nike's staying alive, keeping his whale up. So he's going to go ahead and use that to keep the pressure on them, to allow his team some movement options. But he's going to get whaled himself, so he's going to have to move back. Like this game. Wow, 3 members of NSTC going down, forcing Nike to go back yet again with no members alive. This is Cooldown's chance to get that lead, and we're going to see if that's going to happen, because Walkman is going to throw down the wall to start to paint the zone, just to delay as much as possible.
It might be working, though. It might be working. He does have the Killer Whale available, but someone from Cooldown coming from the left side is going to force them off their own zone and force them off the lead.
Unfortunately, that will be the lead, yeah. And Zozo does apply enough pressure to force Nike even further back. They finally do get control, but it was a lie. It was a ruse. They do not get control. They just keep stopping the counter while someone keeps repainting it.
Only 2 up.
Dynamo's just going to keep painting it.
Only 2 up for name subject to change. They are able to recover a little bit with 15 seconds left to go. If they do not win this one, Cooldown will be on match points. 9 seconds left to go.
Get some good plays right here.
Get a kill. Gets a kill, but they need both. They need both. They need both. No.
Yeah, and it's not enough. They couldn't get it in time.
3-1.
Man, Nike was under a lot of pressure through the, they needed someone to watch that left side, because I saw that someone kept coming from the left side to pressure Nike, and since they were all focused on the right side, that one person, someone who kept coming through the left, that tunnel over there, made it really difficult for Nike to keep control of where he was on that center tower. So
yeah, it didn't look too great for them.
3-1 right now.
I think, and so I was actually going to question the aggression from Cooldown onto Nike, because 2 times they tried it 2 times before it actually ended up working. The first time it actually was what is it? Yeah, I think it was Zozo that was trying to push up onto Nike, and he was able to get him the first time. Second time, I believe it was Gray that pushed up onto him. And the third time, actually, he was actually able to get it to work with the use of a wall. Sendu didn't expect that going in really short range with his Neo Luna. But of course, with that Neo Luna, you don't really have too much to counter any wall that comes up immediately. Sendu went down. Nike was forced further into his base, and while 2 people are being occupied at their base at Blackbelly, it's so easy for the opposing team to just get the remaining map control and keep that pressure up. And NSTC was choked down from the middle of that match, the very end of it. And now Cooldown on match point.
Yep, Cooldown has been showing a lot of teamwork. And here is like the best map to determine raw skill generally, in my opinion, because it's one of the maps that has been played for forever, pretty much unchanging. And here we're going to go in with tower control, another like way to decide a decisive victory, not like splat zones where you have one area, the tower moves, you got to move with it all the way to their base. So we got to see what happens here. Nike is going to just sit here in the classic sniper, get gray before they're able to get anything. And 3 people going down for Cooldown, that's going to mean pressure for Team NSTC.
Now, the question is,
the defense, Dynamo, allowing Cooldown to get control again. Right off the bat, Nike, nowhere to go, goes down to Zozo.
And that's 3 down!
And they're just going to start their offensive. Wow. I am really surprised. That one person made some really clutch plays, because if it weren't for that, they would not have been able to make this offensive. Double whales
Oh my goodness, what is this? I feel like this is some reenactment of some like Dragon Ball Z like boss fight or something. 2 Kamehamehas or something coming out there. But for now, Cooldown still, they were able to push it to the 43 mark, and that's still pretty good for the first minute of the match, but that's not enough
to end it, I don't think. Like that's not a really sizable lead, so there's definitely a good chance that NSTC can come back here. So Nike's going to carefully point. The reason he's not going to the sniper grate is just because of that very reason, because he felt like someone was going to be there.
Oh, but he does
end up going down, unfortunately.
And he had his Kraken available too, but he doesn't activate it in time. Urza, with that kill, is able to push up into the base with 3 down from named subject to change, and this is looking really, really bad for the European side, as they've been struggling to come out from the very beginning of this match.
Yeah, they've been they started a good push, but unfortunately after they started that push, someone just immediately got a double and basically killed their push and then started pressuring them, and it just started to get ridiculous. And right now, speaking of defending, NSTC is defending their hearts out because they do not want to give them any more points, because they want to make sure it's as possible as ever to get that comeback. Nike does charge up his Kraken, so he is ready to help his team do something a little bit more aggressive.
But once again, Cooldown coming around the back and getting the kill onto NSTC. They're going to have to back off. I'm imagining Super Jump's coming back, because there's no way. Look, you look at the ink all over the map. Nice kill onto Urza, by the way. Quick turnaround. But you look at the map control right now, completely in Cooldown's favor. And it's been that way since the beginning of the game after that first push, like you said. And you have to wonder when this is going to turn around for this NSTC side. The Cooldown keeping up some really admirable pressure.
It's gonna take them to get at least 3 members of Cooldown down before they can make something happen, or at least an advantageous position with their numbers. But right now, since they're they're just trying to poke at them until they get some room so they can make something happen here.
It looks like it might be happening now, though, while being pushed out.
One does go down. Whales are going to come out to start to defend, force Nike even back once again.
But that's important because Nike has been separated from the rest of his team. But he's going to get on it, and this is something that's crucial. His front line needs to win the fights right now that are happening in the middle, but he doesn't activate his Kraken in time to defend himself from the gray.
And that's going to be everyone going down, allowing Team NSTC to finally get out of their base and start pressuring them.
This might be the push that they needed. Inksuka has been activated, but Nike needs the rest of his teammates to push on up.
Kraken on the tower, and that's going to give them enough points for the lead. And he is just going to keep the pressure on. And now with 1 minute left, it will come down to how well they defend this tower, because now it is up to Team Cooldown to apply some pressure here. And NSTC needs to stay alive. Wow, Nike getting one snipe,
the double kill. Quick. Okay, something to talk about, though, really quickly. I wanted to say it back then, but we didn't have the time to say it. 42 points is never enough on this map. And it definitely felt that way for such a long time, because NSTC was always in their base, but the one opportunity they had to push it past that lead, they did. And it shows how easy, not necessarily easy, but how 42 just wasn't that great of a secure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now, what the hell is that?
Getting really good job. one member alive left, and now they're gonna try to like suicide towards the tower. Honestly, Cooldown has one last opportunity to make something happen. Otherwise, this will be game for NSTC.
But you have to watch out for that Dynamo.
That Dynamo's trying to make something happen, but it's just not looking pretty good. But unfortunately,
everybody gets taken down.
Right now,
but he has the Kraken.
And now, yes, he has the Kraken, but will it be enough? He
does
take down Agito, and he does take down Gray. That's all of them, and they do stop him before.
And I think we're going to be getting a game. We're going to be getting a game 6 here. NSTC gets game 5 and forces the last game of the best of 6. Now, will they be able to force the overtime is the question. But Nike with stellar play, especially towards the end there. He did die in that skirmish towards the middle of the map, but it turned out to be just all right. And he does lose the Kraken, but his teammate is able to come up with that Kraken behind him. And I believe that was Walkman with the Kraken, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, whoever it was, that Kraken very much needed.
I believe it, it had to have been Walkman with the 96 scale that he was using. But that was really good play, really clutch snipes by Nike, getting those two for one shots. Like that's a dream right there.
But once again, I wanted to make sure that I emphasize this. Tower control, 2 months ago or something like that, we would often see top teams just leave their sniper behind the tower in order to just make sure that maybe nobody comes onto the tower. I don't know, very defensive kind of play. In the last month or so, even maybe a little bit more than that, we've been seeing some top teams more so trending towards having their sniper perched on top of tower and pushing their front line out. Now, towards NSTC's push, they were at a very critical point where both Sendu and Fuzzy had to get the kills that they needed in front of Nike, who had just pushed onto tower. And it was a very close range fight next to that tower, but NSTC's two Tenatex and Gals were able to come out on top there. And that was the fight in the middle that ended up clutching out the match. Now, Nike, he's been doing his job, but he will need his teammate. He will need his teammates to.
I'm not sure why they were pushing so far in that direction. They just literally gave away some lives there. I'm not sure what they were really going for. If they were just wanting to get some.
No, well, here's the line of thinking, right? We're going to get the Rainmaker. We're going to rush it down really hard. And by the time we have the Rainmaker, we're going to have a path paved away for our Rainmaker swimmer to go on with. The problem being, you pave the way, but you don't actually have anybody following up and being able to deliver on the kills that promise that path will stay there. And so, Cooldown immediately going down at the very beginning. 3 down, but soon after...
I mean, that might work against lesser skilled teams, but like with a team like NSTC, I feel like you need to be more on point. You need to be quick and swift with your pushes, and just like like that, NSTC is going to be stopped at the 54 marker. That is not what you want on this map.
Someone did not relay the message to Nike that a bubble had been activated, so he jumped on down and actually fell onto his own demise there. He put the killer whale instead of ahead of them onto the Rainmaker, assuming they push forward. It doesn't work out, but he does come back to the scene of the crime, gets rid of Gray at least. Cooldown having 1 down, needs to be very careful here of this NSTC side that seems to be going around the right side and maybe potentially flanking them. But so far it doesn't seem to work. But Nike, either way, Urza gets his kill onto, I believe it is Fuzzy or Sendu, but he's going to have his revenge and get the killer whale in the meantime.
Nike was basically just trying to get that few points. Just like you said earlier, Cooldown was just trying to pave the path and, you know, rush down the Rainmaker. Nike just dropped down there just to rush down the Rainmaker, and unfortunately it did not work out for him. But that said, his team has complete control of this top middle zone, which is very important when you're on Flounder Heights, and to have a sniper up there, it's very scary. As we're seeing here, Nike is able to control this area very well and basically snipe them at their spawn. And now he's going to push up, and wow, all of them going down, allowing Nike to pick up the Rainmaker, and already at the pedestal, 4 points before finally going down to the 52.
Nearly able to end that.
But I'm not sure if that will be enough. All of NSTC going down, allowing Cooldown finally to get that out of there.
It should be noted. It should be noted. This is not a lead on Flounder Heights Rainmaker. This map, I mean, we've mentioned volatility before. before on Rainmaker as well. But if any map you're going to mention volatility, if not Blackbelly, it's going to be Flounder Heights on Rainmaker. The lead can come back just like that, especially with the different heights of platforms that make it so easy to maneuver around the map in various ways. Cooldown seeming to not get that down just yet, but they've done an important first step. Move the Rainmaker back to the middle of the map, get some in control towards their way, and at least force their sniper back to their zone. Now the question is if Cooldown can stay alive, and Zozo apparently saying no, going down to the clutches of Nike's E-leader, I believe. And
alright, well, I'm going to have to respectfully disagree, because on this map, I feel like there are many opportunities where you can stop it before it gets that far into your base. But we'll see, because these are high-level players, so any mistake can be like pushed really far. Just as we saw them get to the 4, they can do the same right back. So we'll just kind of see what happens. But I do feel like NSTC does have this one.
They have to watch out for Cooldown coming on the left side, though. Oh, yeah, and that's...
They are trying.
Yo, is that Walkman with the double kill up there and Sendu at the same time coming up with the kill from his blaster? That's 3 going down. That's an ace, and now they have the Rainmaker. Are they going to choose to... It's 40 seconds left. I think they could move it back if they wanted to, but they're not going to.
Yeah, they could. Honestly, personally, I would have just taken it to the base by the spawn and just chilled there, honestly. Or took it around the back line where it's like the no Rainmaker zone. Even though it's the no Rainmaker zone, you can kind of camp next to it, and then when it's time, then go in. Like when you're forced to, then 15. Go in there.
Okay, 15 seconds left.
You can basically circumvent the system. With only 10 seconds left, a whale is available.
We're waiting. Oh, he gets Grey though!
And now he died, and well, that's going to be it for Cooldown on this match, and that's going to be overtime.
Overtime, right? Guaranteed 3-3. We have been set here after this best of 6. No decision can be made, and we're going to be going to the best of 3 overtime. This is super interesting. We saw it in the other set between Koopa Clan and Squids next door. It was equally as close. And now we're going to get a good glimpse into how this one turns out. Now, I'm tempted to switch perspectives because we have so many perspectives we can go through, and I'm sorry if this is super stressful, but I'd like to get a glimpse of Sendu if possible. His Twitch ID is SenduC. And I want to get a glimpse into him because he's the blaster player for this NSTC side. Right. And he oftentimes is at the front line of many of these pushes that they've been able to orchestrate. And so what I want to see is a blaster that is definitely not afraid of going in and a little bit more action.
Not afraid of combat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And equally hype.
Well, I'm on a stream right now.
Okay.
At 30 right now. What about you?
I'm waiting for it to load. So there's that.
All right, good deal. But yeah, like you said, Sindao is not afraid of firefights. He is like you have to be when playing weapons like Luna or Dynamo. You need to be willing to basically sacrifice yourself because you play a weapon that you either get the kill or you don't, or you trade. Like that's basically what's going to happen. That's why quick respawn is so popular on that weapon, because if you do trade, you can minimize the punish from that.
What time are you seeing now on Sunday stream?
58, 57, 56, 5.
Okay, I'm a little behind, but I'll get it up as soon as possible. Go ahead and call out what you see. For now, I have Nike's stream still up.
Alright, for now we have Sindao going up to their back line right now, actually. And he is going to basically try to snipe someone out, but Aguido takes him out with the bubble. The Splattershot Jr. going to use it on himself and take down Sindao. And 2 people going down for NSTC, allowing Cooldown to get that push to pressure the zones. And Sindao trying to get this 52 gal Urza, but not before going down himself on the left, allowing his team to have to work a little bit harder to get that pressure going.
4 minutes.
He is starting to.
Ooh, okay. So there's a bomb rush coming out. I'm at the 4-minute mark, yeah. And he's going to be taken out left. Oh, sorry, no, off to the right side. He will be going down to Zozo's hands in the first game here, Hammerhead Bridge, and it's going down very quickly from Cooldown. They've kept the lead in this splat zone for the entire match so far. Now, whether this will...
absolutely. And this particular map is really difficult to get the zone. Once you have the zone, it's honestly really hard to get it back. Unless you have something like a bubbler or something like you can get in the center and like paint everything at once or something. But as you can see, it's just constantly turning back to Cooldown's favor. Because it's just one of those maps that's really hard to turn.
They might be able to win it just like this. It's looking like the counter has been stopped just barely. Bomb Rush going down on 1 point. Will they be able to stay alive?
Yeah.
They need the kill, but he dies in the zone. And they're going to go down just like that.
God. 3 people of NSTC going down, and that's it. That's all she wrote.
And just like that, in overtime, Game 1 is going to go to Cooldown's hands.
Game match point for Cooldown, I believe. And, I mean... Wow, these have been incredibly close. Like even in that moment right there, where like you know they're about to lose. Like at any moment, I was feeling like maybe Sendo's gonna get like a triple or something with that bomb rush, and that was gonna be it for them as they start to get control of that center. But unfortunately for them, that didn't happen, and now we're going to see them start to head over to tower control anchovy, which is very difficult to get a knockout in and to really get much further than 40 points. So we'll see what happens here.
Now, NSTC have to be stunned after that. That game lasted no longer than what felt like a minute. Are you kidding me? Cooldown potentially with revenge here. They just came off of playing NSTC in Ludi. They lost by 1 game in a best of 9. If they end up losing to NSTC, they will lose by the same score. So this is a very crucial turning point here. And now the question becomes, NSTC, do you have the right response? It's going to be anchovy games, so Nike as a sniper, he's still going to go with the sniper actually, and that's interesting because oftentimes in anchovy games, it's not regarded as the greatest map for snipers at all, and oftentimes you see snipers actually moving from the sniper to something else completely, like a shooter or even a roller. But that's not going to be the case for him. Cooldown in the meantime has a 96 gal, 252 gals, and a 10 attack. So they seem to acknowledge the lack of power in the sniper, but Nike in the meantime seeming to say maybe not, and we'll see how well Nike can play with that sniper.
Wow.
But in the meantime, Sendu dying.
That snipe there, but unfortunately, yeah, he does go down to Urza, and Urza's going to already start 3 people down for NSTC, allowing Cooldown to get that push into their base. And this is where it's going to start to really make the difference on whether or not they're going to be able to get some good points or not, because they're going to need 1 more wipe before they can make something
Bubbles go up.
Really good lead.
Cooldown is going to push on ahead. And Sendu caught off.
Try to bait them back.
But he's not. They're not going to fall for that bait. 53-point mark is where it's going to end. Guys, let's hear it. If you let's hear it. If you guys believe in the comeback, feel free to give your shout-outs to NSTC. But if you believe in Cooldown, let us know. I've been curious to see how often the French crowd frequents these streams.
I'm going to. Well,
Ooh,
I'm going to root for Sindao and NSTC company because my boy Fuzzy in there. I think they can do it and pull it out. They definitely have for a long time. However, like you said, Sindao and not Sindao, but Cooldown making things happen. Speaking of Sindao's right now trying to make something happen here in the corner, but he does go down. Yeah.
I believe you are a little behind, but it's cool. We'll make use of it. 329 right now. They are pushing it, but that's gonna be a trade. Zozo
26-25.
Yeah. So you're gonna have to play the role of like analysis, I suppose, because you're a little bit behind. Either way, Cooldown still pushing it. Sendu actually going down, and I believe this is his 4th death in a row without getting much of anything. Only 1 left alive, and that is Nike with the sniper, but somehow able to push the French side back. Cooldown is going to get back on the tower. They might not catch out Sendu here, though. They did put the killer whale in a position they seem to believe may have blocked them out from pushing it further. No.
Oh, no.
He's going to go down just like that.
If he had a little bit more patience, he would have been able to get that direct and probably would have prevented that from pushing much further. But with whales coming out, that is going to basically be the trump card up tower.
Oh, that kill, though.
And Rainmaker, you're basically not allowed to move when you die, but that's going to be a wipe.
This is crucial.
NSTC to go ahead.
He gets the. Honestly, I don't think Sendu even knew he was exactly there. He was turning around and shot and got him somewhere in the middle of that turnaround. That was a lucky as hell kill, and it may pay its dividends here. NSTC's getting kill after kill. That's nearly 2 aces in a row, and maybe pushing it even further, forcing a game 3 into overtime. Kraken's on it, and they're going to be able to force it and take the lead with 2 minutes left to go. It's going to be at the 40-point distance mark. Sendu staying alive for just a little bit longer before NSTC going down.
He does take out a Guido, but man, 40, like, it's weird because in the other maps we were sitting there debating whether or not 4 points was the lead at 4 points with how quickly you can take a lead. But in this map, I'm going to say pretty confidently that if you have like 40 or somewhere in the 30s or something, you can say that you've got yourself a pretty good lead here because with the spawn being right there, allowing the sniper to snipe infinitely on the tower, it's just so easy to allow that pressure onto that area. So, I mean, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how they choose to come back from this, but it's going to take a couple wipes on their part.
It's going to start with a bubble, it seems, that actually NSTC actually able to avoid any deaths from the use of that bubble, and actually taking down 2 from Cooldown immediately afterwards. Sendu pushing up
those bubbles can't save him now.
Sendu pushing up awfully high up here.
Yeah, he's just gonna. Yeah, he's gonna start his bomb rush. Gonna allow his team. He's gonna get some turf. He's gonna paint. He's gonna force enemy movement towards his team, not where they want to be, because they want to be as far away and as spaced as possible. But with a bomb rush coming around, you can't ignore that. You have to avoid that. But before taking down Gray, he does go down as well. They do get that trade, but only 40 seconds left on the mark, and with NSTC controlling the center, which is very key on this map.
It's a 2v2, and this 2v2 could be very important here with 30 seconds left to go.
Crucial.
40 points is not very much at all, respective to very general scores with tower control. It's right on the brink of it, but it's not exactly what you want. And now Cooldown with the bubbles, with the killer whale, and with multiple people on the tower, they might be able to push it, but they have the killer whale from NSTC is going to push it back, and that's going to be key as well.
That's basically the trump card, and like you said, they had to use the bubble right off the bat. Using your specials early just to start the push will usually result in situations like these, where now you have them, NSTC, they used their specials. They had the whale ready. It didn't matter whether you had the bubble or not. You had to get off that tower. It was going to push you off.
Oh my god. All right. Ladies and gents, a game 9 once again. Game 9 once again. We
whoever wins this.
Whoever, a very John Madden comment there. Whoever wins it, wins it. Cooldown.
Believe it or not. Believe it or not. If they win it, they win it.
Now, we're going to be seeing Rainmaker as the deciding one. And this is what I love to see on Arowana Mall as well. I don't know.
So crucial. The crucial point here is that last little ramp. You know, that last little ramp headed towards it's this pit with the dunk point. That is the crucial point. That's the part that you want to pass. If you're able to pass that, chances are you're going to win the game. Like, just from playing the game enough times, usually that's the breaking point. Now, I'm not saying like you said, like, these are top teams. You can always make something happen. Maybe unfortunately you make up one too many mistakes and now you're all wiped and they get the dunk anyway, or whatever. But generally speaking, it's that ramp that you want to look out for. So we're just going to see what happens as Sendao rushes the center to start to make something happen here.
And Rainmaker, you often see these teams rushing it as much as possible, trying to burst out the middle, but Sendu actually just going to push it. We don't see this too much at all, but they're going to force it into the enemy's own court. I'm not sure about that, but at least it gets the Rainmaker on the other side, and I mean, with it being the first couple of seconds, I don't think it affects too much. It's actually not too bad of a plan coming here from Sendu. Now, unfortunately for them, Cooldown seeming to... Oh, the turnaround mid-air kill on the Agito. He does fall down for that, but I think it's worth it, definitely.
It does keep the lead in their favor, that is for sure. The Flying Eagle does go down, unfortunately. Rest in peace, the Flying Eagle.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Apparently at the 42 mark.
But someone takes it and pushes it all the way to the 42.
Oh,
but like
my, okay.
Earlier, it's still not over that hump, and that hump is the crucial point. 32 is pretty good, but like I said, that getting it over that that hump on that end there is the crucial breaking point. So it could go either way right now. Like NSTC does have control of the Rainmaker, and they're going to go ahead and start their push. It looks like Sendow's going to be content with pushing the left side, probably going to help Fuzzy out or Nike.
Okay.
And he's going to rush the center right now.
Sendu having the guts to actually go for this on the right side without. Oh my goodness.
Has, like,
okay.
No
but he's in. No, but they don't think he's here though right now. Okay. Okay. Now they know he's here, obviously, but beforehand he was actually in a really nice position.
Yeah. Oh no. A couple unfortunate mistakes there. And like you said, yeah, he was definitely in a great position. He almost capitalized on it, and then made another mistake. Kind of unfortunate, but these things do happen. We are human. We're not perfect, unfortunately. So Sindow's gonna go back to the center,
nice.
back to what? Oh, it goes back to his original
no,
plan,
but he wasn't
this
able
time he gets it, and he's gonna maybe get two. And
no.
Unfortunately, he doesn't get that second, but he does allow his team to get it though. So they're gonna keep their pressure, and Nike does push up, I believe, to take that.
Oh, yo, he pushes up ahead to spot the Rainmaker and gets rid of one from Cooldown. A very heads-up play from him. It's going to be a trade, though, but either way, it's going to force that Rainmaker further back into Cooldown space. And now, with NSTC distracting them from that previous Rainmaker burst, they're actually able to get rid of some more from the French side. Cooldown able to get him in return, but it's a 2v1 right now. If they are able to get rid of Zozo, sorry, Agito, they might be able to get there, but no, the bubble has been activated. Rainmaker has been able to oh my goodness, they actually push it. 2 minutes left to go, and they push it to the 26 mark out of nowhere, and just like that, NSTC in the lead right now. But with a heads-up play there to be able to sit around the corner and wait,
and he's
Sendu's
just
able
waiting,
to get the kill. Ooh. Okay.
Oh
okay.
man, but he is gonna go down to the 52. I guess he didn't see him with the corner of his eye, so that 52 is gonna take him out, and they're gonna start pushing up the center now.
Cooldown here potentially with something here. Urza moved up on the left side. That's a full ace going down right now. For NSTC, will they be able to make it back in time? Fuzzy hopped behind the Rainmaker, but I don't think he's going to be able to get back to it on time and then make it. Cooldown takes the lead with 1 minute, 30 seconds left to go.
Oh my gosh, they almost make it over that hump. So, like I said, this is the crucial point. So, like, now NSTC, if they're going to want to take that lead, they're going to have to make it over the hump.
Oh my god. 1 minute.
Oh man, this could not be much closer than it is.
We just saw a suction bomb from the left side. Not sure of whether they're going to get onto him, and yes, that is.
Side. And wisely pushing up the right side instead, knowing that there are people coming in from the left. It seemed kind of bad there because he did go down, but generally speaking, that was a really good play because what if there was like 2 or 3 on the left? He could have potentially snuck it by. Agito alive, the only one alive with this junior and bubble. And having used his bubble right now might allow NSTC to get one more wipe. They need one more to make something happen. There's 2 going down.
35 seconds left to go. 33, and Sendu's able to get the kill.
He goes down. Zozo is down, and he's going to start the bomb rush to allow his team some pressure here. But unfortunately, dies to the 52. Did not take him out. Ignored him completely, and that was probably not
15 seconds left to go. He's going to super jump on back in. The Rainmaker is available, but he's going to go down. Kraken activated a little bit too late, and that's 2 Krakens activated for them. Both of them going down. NSTC might be losing their match here against Cooldown if they aren't able to super jump back in time. That's it, and Cooldown is actually going to take the set after against NSTC, and congratulations to them. It's been a long time in the works, but the French team is going to pull off the upset.
Cooldown did it. Cooldown took down NSTC in a best of 9 in the end.
I still don't believe it. I still don't believe it. I didn't think we'd be seeing that, to be honest.
I did not expect it to be this close either, honestly, but